Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back after about like a month of not putting anything up. I'm back and it's story time. So, you might want to get some tissues because it's kind of sad, actually. Like, really, really sad. So, when I came back from Vermont in July, I went to sleepover camp. And I was there up until Thursday. I had so many classes. I had swimming, archery, arts and crafts, ASL, or American Sign Language, canoeing and kayaking, and sports. And I actually was trying really hard in swimming because I want to get my lifeguard certification, and you have to be able to swim really fast in a certain amount of time. So I was trying really hard. So I got pulled out of arts and crafts on Thursday by the camp director and was like, "You're going to the hospital." Or that's what I thought in my head. I was like, "I'm fine. I'm not broken. I have no broken bones. I'm not burned." And then she pulled my sister out of swimming and she was like, "You guys are going to the hospital because your mom wants you there because of your grandfather." And I was like, "Okay." And I was confused because I didn't know why and whatever. So my cousin came and picked me up. I only had a few things. I had deodorant, my hairbrush, my iPod and headphones, and a bag. That was it. No clothes, no nothing, because I didn't think I was going to be staying there not that long. Turns out I was there for 3 days. My cousin told me that my grandfather wasn't doing really well, and he had a tube in his neck to help him breathe. And just like be prepared because he's not what he normally looks like, and you're gonna cry. So I was like, okay. So I got there. My mom and my aunt were out in the hallways, and I just started crying. We both started crying. We were bawling our eyes out because we had no idea what was going on and no one would tell us. And my mom was like, "Dad wanted you all here because these are his final hours and he wanted to be surrounded." Oh my god, I'm such an ugly crier. He wanted to be surrounded by his family in his final moments, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I literally fell on the floor crying. I don't think I've ever cried any harder in my life. And so she's like, "Go tell him that you're here." And Kayleen just couldn't. She was too weak, so I had to go over there. I whispered in his ear. I said that me and Kayleen are here, and we love you, and we're not gonna leave you. Oh my god, I'm such a scared. And so and then I went over to my cousin and my godmother, and I just started crying because no one would tell me what was going on. And it turns out that before he got there, he got anointing of the sick. I was there with all my cousins, and it came time for us to go to sleep. They all went home, and my mom was like, "We're staying the night because I don't want to leave him." So I was like, okay. So in 48 hours, I think I got like 5 hours of sleep. So I was extremely tired, and I was in the same clothes for all that time. And me and my cousins, we were just talking about everything, doing like what we always do. And so, when Friday came, we thought it was his final moment. So we all gathered around the little hospital bed, and we all started crying. And, my grandmother was really embarrassed because she couldn't cry because she had Parkinson's disease. And we all just started crying because we were like, "There's no need for you to be embarrassed. Like, you're physically unable to cry." And like, we knew that she wanted to because she was gonna miss him. And so that night, I went back to my grandparents' house to shower because I was going back to camp the next day. And so I whispered before I left, I whispered in my grandfather's ear that I'll be back and that I love him. And so when I came back, after I was done showering, my mom told me that I had to go to bed. So I went into another room and I slept. And the next morning at 4-ish in the morning, my mom came in and told us that we were leaving. And I didn't know why we were leaving. And then we got in the car, and then she said that Dad died at 2:14 in the morning. And the one thing I kept saying to myself was, when I came back from showering, and I went to bed. I didn't tell him that I love him, and I kept blaming myself for his death because I didn't say bye, and I just felt so bad because I didn't tell him that I loved him, and he died, so I never got to say goodbye to him. And I mean, I now know that I wasn't responsible for his death. He just died because his lungs couldn't take it anymore. But I still blamed myself. So when I got back to camp, people didn't know why I was gone. And so I was crying, and I had to tell them that I watched my grandfather pass away. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, you're really strong for doing that, because I couldn't. And I mean, you would think you can't, but you really can't, because you don't want them to leave. You want them to stay as long as physically possible. But you know that deep down in your heart it's better for them to leave. And I just couldn't let myself do that. I couldn't. Every time someone said, I'm so sorry for your loss, it made me feel a little better inside. So the one piece of advice I can give you is don't push your friends and your family away, because there's gonna come a point in your life when you really need them, like I did, and they might not be there, but luckily my friends and my family were there for me. So that whole week I spent at my grandparents' house because I had to help with funeral prep, which was not fun at all. And at his wake, some of my friends went, and everyone from camp went, and there was still another week, so they all came, and I cried because I was really happy that they came, and like they came and supported me. And at the funeral, I had to say something, and I did it, and he had a military funeral, so when we were at the cemetery, there were two people from a branch of the military, and they folded up the flag, and they presented it to my grandmother, and when they presented their flag, they said something about, like, on behalf of the government and the President of the United States, we want to give you this flag, in something about the service. And if you didn't cry during that, you have, like, no soul, because it's so sad. They have such a straight face, and they're giving you a flag that was it was just so sad. And like, I miss him every single day because he was the first real person I lost. And so when Halloween came, his favorite candy was Snickers, and I don't like them. So every time I see one, I die a little and cry inside. So I decided that I was gonna make a heart out of all my Snickers that I had around a picture of his, and I did. And Keelan was making fun of me, and I was like, why? It's good. It was sweet, and I think he liked it. And so it's been almost 3 months, and I still wish that he was here because there's so much I didn't get to tell him. And now there's so much that he knows that I don't necessarily want him to know. He never knew, and he didn't really know any of my friends. He didn't know any of my boyfriends. He didn't know about camp. He'll never get to see me be installed. He'll never get to see me graduate. He'll never get to see me make my first confirmation. And I can live with that because I know he's in a better place now, and he's watching over me, and he's gonna make sure that I don't get hurt. So Da, if you're watching this, and I know you are, I just want to tell you that I love you, and I miss you every single day, and I hope that there's a blueberry patch for you so you can pick blueberries, and that there are raspberries so you can make jam, And I'll never forget when you taught me how to make raspberry jelly. And I still have one. And I hope that there's a lake so you can go fishing. I hope that I make you proud because you're one of my heroes. And I look up to you for being so dedicated to everyone in your life and trying to help make your community better. So I want to dedicate this video to you because I owe it to you. I mean, biologically, without you here, I wouldn't be here. And I don't think I would understand how important family is without you. So I want to thank you for that and inspiring me to be the best person I can. Because one day, we're all gonna be gone and we wanna leave a legacy. So, thank you for teaching me that. And I miss you so much. And I love you. So that's my story. So now that I said that, I probably made you all cry. And I'm really sorry. And I'm a really ugly crier. So I'm sorry for that. I wanted to share you a story of one of the hardest times in my life. So that you know that I'm not as happy as you all think I am, because there's that wound deep inside of me. And yeah, I love you forever and always, and you know that I will. I'll miss you so much. And because of you, I now realize why I love the number 13, and that was because that was the last day you were alive. So I love you, and I miss you always, and I love all of you too. So peace out.